Hey guys, Hidden here with another quick tutorial picking up from where we left off previously, just kind of going through my method of sketching here in Clip Studio Paint.ex. Alright, I'm going to get over here near the canvas. Sorry if you can hear my chair squeaking like crazy. Need a new one. Alright, so you can see here we did the previous sketch. Really rough, proportions are still off. You can see her chest there, proportions are off. Little things here and there, but this is what the second sketch phase is for, and that's for correcting those little issues. So I mentioned in the previous video, I didn't quite care for the way her knee is here, so you're going to see me come in, kind of correct that, get the calf to come up, and it's still not too important to be, don't worry too much, because like I said, we're still in the sketch phase. And for this character, likely I'll be adding clothes, so a lot of that would even cover the some of these little things here and there. Not that you shouldn't correct these issues, it's just like I said, if you're doing baggy pants, then don't worry so much about the way the shins look, you know? So I can see I'm going to follow up. This is a little bit of something I do from time to time, is kind of imagine a center line through the body. That helps me really think about where things are in this 3D space. And you'll see me like do things like this, where I'll come in and kind of section things off, and that does the same thing. It just kind of helps me really get a good understanding of like where things are, you know? So I kind of like this. I'm probably not going to worry too much about the head on this sketch, because the main issues were in the body. I could still see some of the same issues. I specifically shrunk the waist area in the previous video, and now I'm looking at it and I'm like, it could be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to come in, grab around the waist area, just like that, hit Control T, bring up the transform tool, move the pivot point up to what I want to base it on, and just scale it up a little bit. Maybe even a little bit bigger than that. Alright, that'll be fine. Like I said, one of the worst things you can do, just period, as an artist, is really sit here and fight over these little things that you see, but just for whatever reason you can't fix right now. A lot of the things don't even matter that much, so it's better just to get it at least somewhat near what you like and just move on. You'll probably actually figure out how to do it later. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I generally zoom in on the face when I'm doing the face details, get it a little bit closer, just because I like to, you know, detail the face a little bit more. I don't really care for how much opacity the sketch layer has, so I'm going to turn that down a little bit, and try to really get an idea of, you know, what I want this character to look like. This would be where I kind of, you know, if I don't care for the expression, or if I have like something in mind that I really want to you know, make stand out, this would be where I would do that. So you can see I have her big huge eyes. I'll probably thicken up the eyelashes a little bit, and even add some of these little eyelashes over here, which I tend to like. Do that. I might actually change her expression here a little bit as well. No, let's stay consistent between the two videos, at least a little bit, right? So I'm going to do something like that, and I can see like her chin area is a little bit too much out, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So I'm going to bring that in just a little bit, and then come up through here. Now, for the next video, when I'm doing lines, I might not use this image. I guess I can. There's no reason not to. The reason I was considering not using it is because, it's not a good representation of what I would do normally because I am so like rushed on time. But at the same time, sometimes you are. So I think we're just gonna roll with it, and I can really just show you what it looks like when I'm rushed on time and just gotta knock something out. All right, so we're pretty much done with the proportions. The only thing I could do here would be to really like focus on the hands, but since I struggle with hands as most people do, I kind of put it off until like I absolutely have to. I've actually gotten to the line phase several times without a clear understanding of what the hands are. So I guess we'll just go ahead and work on the hands a little bit more because I know it's a bad habit and I need to correct it. So I'm going to put a little bit of shape to it here. Kind of imagine where the thumb would be. Do the same over here, do the hands. I can tell you now that, which if you look at this arm from this angle, flipping the canvas, I don't like this. So I'm actually going to do something that I do often, which is kind of reimagine where that arm needs to be through the body, right? I might not take it to this extreme level where I'm actually completely drawing the arm on the inside. I don't always do that. Sometimes I just kind of like hover over it as if I did it. But just to show you what I am doing when I do that, that's it. So we'll go ahead and get that out of here, which that's something it's a little bit easier to do in digital, but you can definitely do that in traditional as long as you have a good eraser and you sketch really lightly. Definitely there's plenty of advantages to digital art. Not that many in traditional, to be honest, but traditional definitely has its place. It's slowly losing ground to digital, but anyways, that's a topic for another video. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit here because I'm back on the body, but not too much. Kind of reimagine how her chest should be here. And then as soon as I get that done, I'm going to start trying to get an idea of what kind of clothing she might be wearing. Like, what would she look like? And we can even do that on another layer. I don't always do it on another layer. Most of the time I'll do it on the second sketch layer, or sometimes even on the first sketch layer, depending on the image. But I kind of like her posture here. It's very very pronounced, very what's the word? Confident. So maybe we'll make her like kind of like a battle style warrior character. So that's what I'm going to do real quick. Just kind of like rough out what that means to me, right? So you can already see that I've already increased the bust size again, which could create a proportion issue. We'll see. A lot of these things I kind of fix on the fly, so not too much of a big deal. I'm going to do some big gloves because I like big gloves. And I cannot lie. You can go ahead and unsubscribe or just not subscribe. Kind of do a little bit of definition on the hands, which adding gloves is actually a really good way to redefine hands. And it helps cover up little things here and there that you might have neglected, or even just help you see certain things. So that's okay for now. That could even be how I do it in the final product. I think our hands might be a little bit too small, so we can easily just come in here and boop. Like I said, don't be afraid to use the transform tool. I'm definitely not, and I don't think you should be either. So something like that. You can see where like the transform tool is overlapping and stuff. Like I said, sketch, not that big of a deal. Kind of define some of the fingers here, get an idea of what that might look like. Come up here to the rib cage, might define that a little bit better. and do something right here, maybe a belt. I can tell you right now, based on where I put the belt, that there is a proportion issue in the pelvis area. But like I said, you know, you can fix these things relatively easy on the fly, so don't like freak out about them. That's definitely something that I used to do as a younger artist, where I would like just see something and just could not get past it, and it would just irk me for so long. And it just all it does is it stops you from putting stuff out. You know, it just stops you completely in your tracks, and that's something you never want. You want to keep going, even if it sometimes hurts. It's like, oh God, I hate this so much, but you just got to keep going, you know? Not saying I hate this. I actually think this is okay. Definitely not my best work, but it's all right. I'm going to do some boots. Really, really simple stuff. I could easily do another sketch layer after this, and for me, every sketch layer I do generally increases the quality, generally. Sometimes it makes it worse, but it depends on what I'm going for. You're going to see right here, I'm trying to do some kind of like thigh-high thing, and you just got to understand where that might exist in 3D space. I can see another proportion issue with this leg, but like I said, I'm not too worried about it. I might even leave it in the sense of like, you know, I'm probably the only one that's ever going to notice it. I'm not, this image isn't going to be my magnum opus, and that's really a really good way to be when you're just drawing in general. Just not to worry too much about little things here and there. This one image doesn't have to be your masterpiece, even if you liked it so much from the beginning. The idea that I'm not going to do the head. I'm not going to do the head. There's no reason. The head's perfectly fine, and I'm not adding any clothes or anything up there, so. Anyways, so this will probably be where I'm going to call it quits for now on the video, until I start up the next one, which will be kind of going into the lining process. I can still see so many proportion issues. See, I'm already, even I don't practice what I preach all the time. But anyways, if you liked what you seen, if you learned anything, or if you just in general want to support the channel, hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'd really appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next video, which will be lining, hopefully. Might be a little bit of polishing on the sketch. No, I'll probably jump straight into lining. Anyways, talk to you later, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.